Now, from today, over 8 million families are going to receive a cost of living payment just over £300. It's an expansion of the scheme that was put in place last year, and it's for low-income households, pensioners, some disabled people. But how well is it working, and is it actually achieving its aims? Well, Matt Dronfield is the Managing Director of Debt Free Advice, who joins me in the studio. Matt, very good morning.
Good morning.
So just explain how the scheme works. It was put in place last year, and clearly the cost of living has only gone up since then. A challenge for the government to say, we thought you needed support. They can't really say we're going to stop giving it now.
It's a real challenge. And so, as you said, there's 8 million people that from today will receive a third of the £900 cost of living payment. So they're not evenly split. So from today, £301 between today and the 17th of May, depending on what benefits that you're currently claiming and entitled to. The next payment comes in the autumn, and the final payment will come in spring 2024. Really important, if you're already claiming benefits, there's nothing you have to do. The payment will be made automatically. There is a worry, that there could be messages sent out scamming people into trying to claim it. So really important, if you're listening this morning, if you're entitled to it, that payment will be automatically received into where you usually get your benefits payments.
From your perspective, you're looking after people, advising those on the lowest incomes in the most financial hardship. Is it enough?
No, is a short answer. Looking at our free advice service that we've been delivering and supporting people for the last 17 years, we've never been busier. I was on this show just over a month ago, and I mentioned how we've seen a 65% increase in inquiries for our service this year. That trend's continued. Worryingly now, 1 in 5 of the people that turn to us for support are on prepayment meters. And in addition to that, 47% are in gas arrears and 44% are in electric arrears. That's gone up so much if you compare that to this time last year. We're making more than double the number of referrals to food banks than just October last year, just before Christmas. So as much as this support is really, really needed, and every step is a good step, there's so much more that needs to be done.
MPs are actually studying the sort of design of the payments, how they were put in place last year, to see if they have managed to support those most in need. Clearly, evidence like what you've just given would be paramount for them to try and work out what they can do. Ultimately, it comes to a conversation of what the government can afford to give people. There has been other forms of support available. If you could just talk us through what some of that was, because we know that everyone's energy bill was cut by at least £400 last winter. We had a council tax rebate. Are any of those sort of measures still in place?
So some of those measures are still in place. So the energy price guarantee, that was the cap that the government had in place. So the average household, their energy bills won't go above £2,500. That was extended by a further 3 months.
And that affects all of us.
That affects all of us. That's good. I think that if that wasn't in place, it's worth pointing out that everyone's prices would have gone up by 20%. So our charity joined over 100 others in campaigning with Martin Lewis for the government to do exactly that. That is good news. However, the energy bill support scheme, lots of analogies, algorithms here, the £66, £67 that everyone kind of got topped up onto their account, that finished last month. So even though the price cap was still in place, all of our bills have gone up this month as well, so causing more pain. 1st of April, everyone's broadband and mobile phone bills went up by inflation rates, so that's an extra 15-16% that we've all seen as well. Everyone's being hit really hard, but the people that are being hit most are those that have the least in their pockets. We also, we often talk about our COVID heroes, those teachers, the doctors, the supermarket workers, all those people that we applauded during the pandemic. Some of those are on the lowest wage. They're already working 50, 60 hours a week, and they're struggling to make ends meet. I was in my local supermarket the other day picking up a few items, 3 or 4 items, the essentials, bread, milk, eggs. It's more than a tenner. Right? Everyone is really, really struggling, but the people that are struggling most are those on the lowest incomes doing the most essential jobs in our society.
Or people saying things like cheese is a luxury. How have we got to that position? If you were part of the team who are advising those MPs on how well the strategy's worked, so there's going to be 2 more payments of about £300, what would your sort of plea to them be?
So think about who this is helping and could this be extended any further? It's only people on certain benefits that are going to get this payment, not everyone. How can we reinstate or extend the financial support for the energy bills? Because that's hitting the pockets, really, really hard for everyone. Increase access to affordable credit rather than people turning to potentially loan sharks or really high interest payments as well. Expanding free debt advice services. We're here to help. We can help just over 20,000 people a year, but we've got wait times at certain periods of the year as well. So extend that support and strengthen those social security nets. So review and increase the level of benefits provided to make sure that they go up at least as much as inflation, because they're not doing that at all. And also, really worth pointing out that if you are waking up this morning and you're worried about your financial situation, there is support out there. Take a breath. Lots of organisations available across the country, including ourselves. Our team is open from 8 o'clock this morning, open 8 to 8, 7 days a week, on 0800 808 5700, or on our website, where you can start a web chat private and confidentially if you can't speak on the phone because you're at work or there might be family over here, at www.debtfreeadvice.com.
Matt, thank you so much for coming in this morning. So that first instalment of the second batch of cost of living payments will land in millions of people's bank accounts from today onwards. Matt Dronefield is the Managing Director of Debt Free Advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lots to come here on the programme. We'll be finding out the details for those